Greetings, my fellow freedom lovers and sovereign thinkers. This is LL3's newest podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy mangroves of South Florida. And today's date, Thursday, December 17th, 2015. And to be with all honesty to be exact, I am in near the Everglades. So I am actually in the swampy mangrove to be exact. And it's pretty cool. So I'm just gonna be here for a few days, actually a couple of days, and maybe find another place to go in South Florida. So I will be in the area as long as I can. However, this is some interesting stuff that's been going on, and unfortunately, I try to do one early, but how all these signal delays and so forth. So I just had to just scrap it, and revise it, which is okay. It's just part of the deal. And don't worry, I'm not getting paid. No one's losing money, correct? Okay, well, first thing I like to start off came from FIJA, which is Fully Informed Juror Association. You go to FIJA.org. It came out yesterday. Jurors' rights, educators triumph again in Denver. Yes, this is by Kristen C. Tynan, who's the executive director. And you can check her out at aji@fija.org. And as it reads here this morning, Judge Kenneth Pultz dismissed all felony jury tampering charges that had been pending against jurors' rights educators Mark Anasaselli and Eric Brandt for handing out Fully Informed Jury Association brochures at the Lindsay Flanagan Courthouse in Denver, Colorado. Each was charged with 7 counts of felony jury tampering, as outlined in the complaint and information document. There's some links on here too, so you can really look this yourself. I have talked about it in my past episodes, so you can just check it out. Oh, excuse me here. There, despite never being any evidence that they were trying to influence the outcome of any particular case. Selly and Brandt were represented in court by attorneys David Lane and Lon Heyman, who argued for dismissal of the charges. After approximately 90 days of argument and in a short recess of about 20 minutes, the judge returned with his ruling. In dismissing the charges, he noted such charges for handing out FIJA brochures amounted to an unconstitutional application of jury tampering law and swept in speech that's protected under the First Amendment. Earlier this year, a federal court judge granted an injunction sought by attorney David Lane on behalf of the Fully Formed Jury Association plaintiffs Eric Verlo and Janet Matson to prevent any further such unconstitutional arrests. The court made it clear at the time that such activity is protected under the First Amendment. Nonetheless, Denver District Attorney Mitch Morrissey chose to continue his vendetta, wasting even more taxpayer dollars and harassing harmless Colorado residents as he refused to drop the charges against Ian and Selly and Brandt. Oh, Mitch Morrissey. I tell you one thing, it shows you're a real man. By picking on people that supports free speech, you are another Uncle Tom to the establishment as far as I'm concerned. And you call me unethical all you want, but you deserve a penile microphone, and I say that in good faith. Furthermore, to District Attorney Mitch Morrissey, you need to resign, or the people in that area should recall your behind or campaign against you because you officially breached your oath of office under Article 12, Section 8 of your state constitution. I will talk about that in a moment. In spite of the possibility of years in jail hanging over their heads, Ian Selly and Brandt have continued courageously for months to work alongside with other juror rights educators at the Lindsay Flanagan Courthouse, doing exactly the same kind of outreach that they had been arrested for the past summer. In discussing this court victory, Eric Brandt paraphrased a memorable quote usually attributed to Edmund Burke. That's all necessary for evil for triumph is for good men to stand by and do nothing. I chose not to stand by, Brandt said. The world is run by those who show up. I elect to show up. FIJA has updated with today's victory in infographic entitled, Is Jury Rights Education Legal or is it Jury Tampering? You can look it up. Detailing cases with such prosecutorial abuses are shot down in court. We look forward to adding yet another such victory case in Keith Wood, a juror rights educator, also abusively mischarged in recent weeks by disgruntled courthouse official in Mecosta County, Michigan, said Executive Director Kristen Tynan. Tynan noted that FIJA has a goal to start offering in 2016 an ongoing supply of free brochures to jurors' rights educators, conducting outreach at any courthouse where juror rights educators have been victorious over arrest and threats of arrest for handing out FIJA literature, all incentive for government officials to harass juror rights educators and an attempt to quash our message would immediately disappear if such efforts were guaranteed to do the exact opposite and spread the message much further, Tynan said. In order to combat such prosecutorial bullying, FIJA invites legal professionals to join this newly forming volunteer attorney network. Volunteer attorneys can protect First Amendment rights and support jurors' rights education by assisting FIJA pro bono, securing injunctions against these types of legal arrests, representing juror rights educators who are falsely prosecuted for jury tampering and so on. Bravo! Bravo! I am real happy to see those two individuals free from charges in Denver. And of course, Denver District Attorney Mitch Morrissey, the world doesn't revolve around you. Yes, it shows you're not a real man by harassing the productive. So you know what? Manless wonder, because who has a elected position, a servant that believes is a master. So speaking of that, it's really interesting because I'm gonna tell you the areas which he violated. Of course, the First Amendment and the Ninth Amendment U.S. Constitution, absolutely. But there's some areas here which he violated, which I'm gonna leave it on here for sure. I know I talked about it before. It says here, okay, he violated Article 2, Section 3, inalienable rights. Section 10, freedom of speech and press. And of course, Section 28, rights reserved, not disparage. And this is why when you go a little bit way under here, you can actually look this for yourselves. But Article 12, Section 8, he breached his oath of office to protect and defend both U.S. and Colorado constitutions. So, Mr. Merzey, you're null and void. You are not the district attorney, but a fraud, a jack-lantern, and another useless entity. And I say that in good faith. So I'm going to add this to the footnotes. Everything I'll be talking about will be my Spreaker page, and sometimes you probably get it on iHeartRadio, but I notice iHeart is only it's like limited, but definitely go to my Spreaker page. You'll get everything on there, and I think YouTube as well is in there also. So without further ado, next thing I want to be checking in here came from actually it's Voice of Liberty, Minded Multi-Channel Networks. This is one here came out. It's called "The Feds Continue to Expand Its Balance Sheet." Oh yeah, by Paul Martin Foss. As it says here, while the Fed may have raised its target federal funds rate yesterday, it continues to add its already bloated balance sheet. This committee is maintaining its existing policy while reinventing principal payments from its holding of agency debt and agency mortgage-backed securities in agency mortgage-backed securities and or rolling over maturing treasury securities at auction. And it anticipates doing so until normalization of the level of federal funds rate is well underway. This policy, by keeping the committees holding long-term securities at sizable levels, should help maintain accommodative financial conditions. At $4.5 trillion, the Fed's balance sheet is equivalent to about 27% of the U.S. GDP, or gross domestic product. Over one quarter of the entire economic output of the United States. But it's one thing to say that and read about it, and another thing to put it into perspective. According to CNBC, the Fed's balance sheet is large enough that could purchase the 14 largest companies listed on the S&P 500 index. Those are Microsoft, Google, Apple, J.P. Morgan, Chase, Wells Fargo, Johnson& Johnson, Berkshire Hathaway, AT&T, Procter& Gamble, Amazon, Pfizer, Facebook, GE, and ExxonMobil. Hmm, good grief. That's how much the Fed has created to purchase assets on its balance sheet. Let's print more money out of thin air. Bing, 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 ding. My magic wand or my magic lamp. Pew. Oh, hell, the fiat. Toilet paper, that is. All right, another way of looking at it is to the view this infographic from Demonocracy. Nice little photo. It has the Statue of Liberty, the Federal Reserve Building, the football fields, and all this good stuff. The image shows the Fed's balance sheet when it was at $4 trillion. At the back, you can see the Federal Reserve equals building Statue of Liberty. 5 American football fields are on the right side, and the tractor trailer at the front is loaded with $1.4 billion. As you can see, $4 trillion is a lot of money. Each one of those 10 squares of pallets is $10 billion. 50 more than those have been added to the Fed's balance sheet since that infographic was created. How many more will be created before the Fed's accommodative monetary policy is finally reined in? To split hairs, this isn't technically true, as an attempt to purchase all the outstanding stock of a company would most likely result in a rise in the stock prices as another race to buy the stock in anticipation of a buyout. Do you believe the Fed is going too far with its failed policies? Let us know what you think. Of course, they just want to do things out of thin air. Razzmatazz, razzmatazz, get the magic, let me have a spaz. So this really just gets me going. And you got all these people worried about the political bobbleheads from both parties, Feel the Burn and Ted Cruz, and and of course Donald Trump. Regardless of what you think, it's just the whole bread and circuses you're focusing on, and you don't really know what's going on, what the Federal Reserve is trying to do with your money, which is total crapola. Fiat, how long can it last? That means that's what it is in Latin. All right. No gold and silver backing whatsoever. 1971, during the Nixon administration, to be exact. Now they want to make $4 trillion out of thin air. That's why many of us do support that banning the termination of the Federal Reserve, because they're nothing more than a sham. And I recommend people to read Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution. We'll talk about Congress regulations on money. Yes, control, regulate on money. And, of course, Section 10 of Article 1 within the U.S. Constitution talks about gold and silver coins, not fiat money. See, folks, you got to start really learning this, what the Federal Reserve is trying to do. Enslave us all and make sure that Alexander Hamilton is climaxing on his grave, the Hamiltonian Curse. I recommend you read the book called Hamilton's Curse by Thomas J. DeLorenzo. Look it up. I'll probably talk about this enough times. Probably did some footnotes on it, but look it up. Buy it. Hit the library. You'll be surprised what's going on now. That will make Alexander Hamilton proud. And of course, so they call Uncle Ted Cruz, thinks Alexander Hamilton should still be kept on the $10 bill. Well, remember, his wife Heidi was involved, I don't know if she still is now, with Goldman Sachs. Thank you, Goldman Sachs. I can show my conservative principles when you support me, supporting my back. Okay, so you've really got to look and think about it, my friends, about the Federal Reserve. All right, let's check out a couple of things from Washington Times. And of course, the big hype and hoopla about Star Wars, the whole the Awakened Force, I think it's called. Everyone's waiting for tomorrow. I see people on Facebook. I got my tickets. Yeah, I want to see it in 3D. Woo! I'm going to manifest and have a cow. I can't wait for the movie to come out. See how many people are going to be married in a Chinese theater and get patted down like good little prisoners. And let's go find out how come it's not going in here. Let's go. What are you doing? Check this out. Yeah, here it is. Star Wars fans face heightened security at theater. Long wait ends. All right. Now I don't want to see. I don't want your damn ads. I hate when they like do these little pop-ups. Undertone and all this other crapola stuff. I could really give two maneuvers about. All right. I'm not gonna use profanity, so I'll try to keep vulgarity. A little sarcasm is to be exact. And I like this tugboat. There you go. Thank you very much. See, I gotta talk to it. You talk to your computer or talk to yourself to get things fixed. I'm pretty I do that. I do that at times, just to have things so I can figure things out. All right, let's just check this out. Let's just examine this. Come on, come on. Shoot. What the heck? All right, a little freeze. Come on, stop freezing and just get this thing going, please. All right. Oh yeah, speaking of that, I'm like looking through here. Powerful liberal group endorses Bernie Sanders. Feel the hype. Feel the hype. You're gonna get burnt in the butt when you jump on the hype. Okay. And of course, they talk about Democrats argue for Puerto Rico bankruptcy. Yeah, when you have the territories doing all of this stuff here, and I don't know why I'm getting a little delay here. Okay. I don't want to work with me, I see. Well, that's all right. Well, I'll be back in a moment. I'll try to get this technical difficulty done ASAP. Be right back. All right. Yeah, it looks like I'm getting the technical difficulties pretty half-assed, but that's okay. So, on the contrary, I am gonna make it an effort on reading from the Washington Times about Star Wars fans heightened security at theaters as long wait ends. This is by Eric Althoff. Yeah. This weekend, The Force Awakens in the shadow of The Dark Knight Rises as Star Wars fans prepare costumes for viewing the long with seventh episode of the sci-fi franchise. Movie theaters are stepping up security to prevent the repeat of the 2012 massacre during a showing of the finale of the Batman trilogy in Aurora, Colorado. AMC theaters, Regal, and Landmark theaters are welcoming costume customers while telling them to keep their face paint mask at home. That means no Darth Vaders, no Darth Mauls, Stormtroopers, or Boba Fett's in full regalia, and no hand blasters, bowcasters, and other items that would make other guests feel uncomfortable or detract from the movie-going experience, AMC says. Lightsaber, the Jedi Knight's weapon of choice, are permitted, however. That would be good news for David Castelline, a 28-year-old photographer who has been camping in front of the Uptown Theater in Northwest Washington since last Friday to be the first in line to see The Force Awakening, which opened at midnight Thursday. He owns a lightsaber that his brother gave him during their marathon to wait to see Star Wars third episode, Revenge of the Sith. Even though he's not planning to view the new movie in costume, a lot of thoughts Episode 3 was the last chance. That was the last Star Wars. Mr. Castelline said, camping out for the 2005 movie The Teenager, we took our chances to do it. The difference now is the smartphone, which allows him to broadcast his current vigil to social networks and share sidewalk war stories with other fans around the world. He said Mr. Castellan has even created the Uptown line for his Twitter and Instagram followers, although he's not, as Jedi Master Yoda would say, a part of something bigger he is. Well, at least he's just doing something productive. All right, a global subculture of Star Wars fans is making sidewalk camps in anticipation of what is likely to be the year's biggest film. Bankrolled by Walt Disney World and helmed by director-producer J.J. Abrams, who had been lauded for his relaunch for the Star Trek franchise. The Force Awakens is expected to reap as much as $2.5 billion in its first theatrical run, which would make it the highest grossing movie in history. According to some estimates, merchandising from film-related toys, games, other titles is expected to yield 2.5 billion for Disney. On Thursday, Disney said the movie debuted with a record-setting 14.1 million from its first screening Wednesday in 12 international markets. The Associated Press reported the largest was France, where the film earned $5.2 million. It set a one-day sale in Norway and Sweden. More than $100 million in tickets have been pre-sold in North America, the AP reported. The movie ticket service Fandango said it already has sold more tickets for Force Awakens than any other movie over its entire theatrical run. The film, the first, is what is to expect to be the final Star Wars trilogy. Has received scores of positive reviews and enjoy a 95% rating on the Rotten Tomatoes website. Meanwhile, the DC chapter of the 501st Legion, Darth Vader's Fist, a worldwide Star Wars fan club, will anticipate an event and screening dressed in impeccably detailed and authentic looking costumes throughout the weekend. And unlike the Imperial henchmen who name it bears, the 501st Legion also lends a helping hand to young Star Wars fans or Padawans in need. The 501st Stormtrooper Legion help raise millions of dollars all over the world, bringing smiles to kids to see us out there, said Alan Shepard, public relations officer for the DC chapter known as the Old Line Garrison. There is nothing quite like coming into a room filled with kids and you see their faces light up as they see characters they have only known on the big and small screen coming to life. Local troops plan to see the film several times this weekend in addition to working various events around the district in stormtrooper attire. It is a very special moment for me when people tell me that the character I'm dressed there is their favorite. When kids smile, then parents smile, it makes me smile, said Jason Shadowski, who is also National Guardsman. I only do characters with helmets so I can maintain the character while I'm grinning from ear to ear. One of the charities the 501st supports locally is the Travis Manion Foundation, founded in the memory of a fallen sailor who gave his life in Iraq. I'm a member of the armed forces, so supporting my fellow military members is very near and dear to me. Mr. Skotowski said, "Yeah, so people want to just the movie made the whole series made impact. And you just gotta always look at examine the movie a lot more thoroughly what's going on, even with the world we're living in as we speak. Because I know George Lucas didn't do the direct the movie, but he was like the mastermind. He read a lot of books on the One World Order, even in the Bible's Holy Bible as well. So in a symbolic sci-fi point of view. And so, but the whole thing is, I'm probably gonna see it, but I'm not gonna jump on that whole bandwagon and get married or get laid or or get high. Doesn't matter. I'm not gonna be going there just waiting in line for all night. To each his own. I'm not gonna condemn, but not gonna make it into a religious ceremony. So, but I always enjoy the other chapters. I like to always examine the movies a lot thoroughly too. That's what I tell folks. Always examine these movies responsibly. Observe responsibly to be exact. So, but like I say, hey, all you folks gonna watch it, hey, have fun, be safe, and despise a police state. Don't be treated like little prisoners. You're not convicted because you're not convicted under due process for seeing the movie. So that's pretty cool on that area. Oh, excuse me here. All right. Well, next one. Hopefully, I get this one as well. Another editorial. Good grief, man. How come? All right. Another issue. Man, it looks like watching time. Everything's been like clogged up here. Why? Good grief. Yeah. All right. Well, I got to do a little, probably another wing it fest here, my friends, and I'll be right back to do that in a moment. So stand by. All right, got that one a little bit fixed there. it looks like the Washington Times. They got like this little cluster. It takes time to get it down right. Good little editorial here came out, I guess today, and it says here the clowns went missing. This is by the Washington Times. When this debate stage went dark in Las Vegas the other night, the spinning continued. Every candidate claimed to have won. Some of the claims were more credible than others. When the first test in Iowa hard upon us at the last game is on. Each of the Republican debates have been followed by several days of grading, rating, deconstruction, and comparing. The junkies, as well as the candidates, attempt to measure not just who won, but how and whether what was on the stage will make a difference in Iowa, New Hampshire, and beyond. Easy consensus is that, like it or not, many of the elite and conventional Republicans don't like it at all. Is that Donald Trump is still the front runner. Marco Rubio or maybe Ted Cruz won a debate on points, and maybe the Floridian best the Texan on immigration, the Texan on immigration. By the middle of the week, however, the wise men, and some who only think they're wise, were furiously reconsidering. Maybe Mr. Cruz was so slick by half, and the words from Marco Rubio, like rock music, were better than they sound. Jeb Bush had his best debate yet, but he still looked like a dead man walking. Rand Paul did pretty well for someone who shouldn't have been on the main stage at all, and Chris Christie, with Jersey toughness and prosecutorial skills shining through, is revealed as a great might have been. Clary Fiorina, John Kasich, and Ben Carson turned out to be yesterday's news wannabes who had their moment are fading into the wallpaper. Everyone missed Mike Huckabee's trenchant one-liners and his not is if not his actual candidacy. Interesting such speculation may be, it misses the point. Republican voters are still moving from candidate to candidate window shopping and will be until Iowa voters drag themselves through knee deep snow to the caucuses next month and make the first statement that counts. Even though the Iowa winners often have no staying power, then come New Hampshire and things get real and quickly. The actual winner in Las Vegas was the Republican brand, and the slick talking marketing men call it. Fear that debates would shine a spotlight under the Miani clack of clowns has dissipated. The candidates have gotten better and emerged in the stretch as reasonable, intelligent candidates who can handle issues. Hillary Clinton won't have the cakewalk some of the easily frightening Republicans imagine. With the assistance of the dishonest media, she would. Indicted or not, she would be vulnerable to any of these Republicans. The first Republican debate drew 20 million viewers, and audience liberal pundits compared unfavorably to audience drawn to NASCAR races in hope for watching wrecks or to be entertained by Donald Trump. Interest was supposed to wither and fade, but 18 million viewers sat through a real positive debate on Tuesday and listened to a mature field of candidates describing how they would deal with the security crisis in the country's faces. They came across as a formidable bunch, nothing like the clowns the Democrats expected and wished for. It's nothing new whatsoever. It's another chapter of the bread and circuses. Exactly. And don't get me wrong, the Democrats have their winners too, like Yippee Yapping Yahooey. And we need Sweet Polly Purebred in there too, that will bend over for any form of rhetoric. Well, I gotta be honest, I haven't been really watching much of the debates. Everyone blasting about it on Facebook, just babbling away. And of course, some of their candidates claim to be their Lord and Savior. I don't have to say any names, but I don't feel the hype, which is the burn hype. I don't feel it. Never have, never will. So the whole thing is, they're still pushing. They're still people trying to play a little clue club. Who I'm going to be supporting. And I'll let you folks know one more time that you're voting in the general election On the president and vice president presidential ticket, it goes directly to electoral college, not to those candidates. So the clowns went missing, of course. Juggled the balls, have fire breathers. I can go on and digress. But you know what? I have to laugh. Remember Uncle Ted Cruz? I like Alexander Hamilton on a $10 bill. You should keep him there. He said, I love Hamiltonianism. I support bankers. My wife was with Goldman Sachs. Think about that, right? Don't feel the hype. Anyone out there? Remember, little quote: elephants and asses screwing the masses. Always be vigilant, regardless. Don't feel the hype. All right. Well, next one here from Natural News came out, I guess, today. Yeah. Thailand. Man to get life in prison for liking a Facebook photo. Photo? Really? Many, if not most, Facebook users have been known to regret having posted something at one point or another. But few have ever imagined the type of repercussion that a Thailand man now faces up to 32 years in jail for merely clicking the like button. As crazy as it sounds, it's true. Thanakorn Sirapai a 27-year-old auto parts factory worker, was recently arrested and charged with lese majeste, an offense violating the dignity of a ruler. Computer crime is addition for liking or doctored photo for the country's ruling monarch, King Bonambom Abdullah. The man is also accused of sharing an infographic describing a current political scandal in Thailand. Thailand's law regarding its monarchy are extremely strict. Anyone convicted of assaulting the king, queen, or any other member of the royal family is subject to 15 years in prison for each count. Man, I feel sorry for these monarchs. Oh, you hurt my feelings. Arrest him now. Throw him in jail. I'm a real man. Do the doors you told. All right. Thanakorn Sarah Payboon has confessed to the charges and could now spend up to 32 years behind bars, according to Colonel Burin Dang Prape, a legal officer for the National Council for Peace and Order. On December 2nd, he clicked like link on a doctored photo of the king and shared it with 608 friends, said Colonel Thangar as reported by the Bangkok Post. Saripibun is also in trouble for sharing an infographic related to what is known as Shakati Park scandal. From the Post, Mr. Thanakor, who belonged to an opposition red shirt Facebook group, also shared an infographic about Rabakati Park, the billion-ma tourist attraction built by the army under construction contracts allegedly riddled with kickbacks and inflated costs. The same infographic was the cause of other recent arrests in Thailand, in which a woman turned herself over to police after having posted on her Facebook page she was charged with sedition. Her case is still under investigation. Less majesty charges on the increase in Thailand since 2014. Junta. Thailand has a reputation of aggressively prosecuting those accused of offending the king's dignity, particularly since the May of 2014 junta involving arch-royalist generals who seized the reins of power for a democratically elected government. In another more recent twist regarding the unfortunate Thanakorn therapy boon, it appears that he has also been charged with lese majeste for mocking the king's dog. I gotta see these photos, man. Good grief. From the Guardian, Thanakorn Sarapun was charged by military court with making a sarcastic internet post about Tung Dang or Copper, a much less loved street mongrel rescued by King Bonin Boy out of Jose. I was like tongue twister here. From an alley. A dog praised for loyalty and obedience is extremely popular in Thailand. The king published a book about her, which he wrote and illustrated himself. There is even an animated film based on her, which is currently the second in the box office in Thailand. Sounds like 1984 when you think about it, folks. Big Brother. Do, 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 1984. Yeah, okay. However, Rever the Mutt chart called Tongadang is in Thailand. Thanakorn's lawyer said he never imagined that we would use the law for the royal dog, calling the charge nonsense. He added that military court has not identified exactly what the insult consisted of. Don't laugh, it could happen here. Although it may seem easy to dismiss Thailand's extremist policies as isolated and backwards, it's worth considering that the fact the United States is beginning to shift in a similar direction. Free speech is becoming replaced by politically correct speech, and anyone who dares to speak out against liberal policies or in support of the Second Amendment, for instance, maybe suddenly find themselves on a no-fly list or labeled as a potential terrorist. The situation in Thailand should serve as a reminder that freedom of speech is a precious right. It must be defended rigorously. At no time in American history has a fundamental right has been so endangered. Let's not forget what freedom of speech means and how valuable it truly is. And let us never allow it to be taken from us. Absolutely. You got the sources here, complex.com, bangkokpost.com, and The Guardian. Well, all I have to say about this is a total shame. You got to be sensitive to the monarch. You got to bend over for them. I don't like it at all. I'll be very honest. When it comes to government, it doesn't matter what form it is, I'm not really too friendly. But just a vigilant individual. I have no shame on it whatsoever. And I like to always recommend all my fellow freedom lovers and sovereign tickets worldwide. If you feel the same, even the ones in Thailand, Saudi Arabia, I can go on. We're all our rights are natural born. They should never be taken away from you. And when I hear all these people about, oh, we can't use bossy, or we can't use this word or that word, you know what? Up yours. I will say whatever I confoundedly well please. If you get offended, boo-hoo. You gonna call me a terrorist? That's the wearing a badge of honor. Put me on a no-fly list? I always find a way of getting around. I'm not the only one. This is why I always tell people, Bill of Rights means government keep out. I'm talking about people in the United States. Don't play that politically correct band. Don't get involved in that politically correct speech bandwagon. It's for the weak, the pathetic, and the undesirable. Okay? You don't tell me how to think, when to go to bed, when to have sex, etc. I'm digressing. That's all I gotta say. But this is why your freedoms, you're born with them, you value it. Don't let some hacks tell you any different. All right, next one here actually came from another thing from Washington Times by Matt Patterson. And it's here, Rahm Emanuel, Gonzo of mayors, to be exact. Most recently, of course, there's a controversy surrounding Mr. Emanuel's handling of a police officer shooting at a black teenager named Lachlan McDowell 16 times on October 20th, 2014. Mr. Emanuel was slow to respond and was initially less than enthusiastic about the prospects of a federal Justice Department investigation into the matter. He has since reluctantly backpedaled on that. We don't want a good crisis to go to waste. All right. Mr. Emanuel has certainly made his very messy bed and will be made to lay in it one way or the other. But what is less talked about is the role of the police union in the aftermath of the shooting that seemingly allowed a cold-blooded murderer to escape justice. Chicago Fraternal Order of Police spokesman Pat Camden initially told the press that Mr. McDonald has posed a serious threat to the officers. On the scene, he had lunged at Officer Jason Van Dyke with a knife. False. The incident was captured on a police dash cam when it happened, so authorities knew right away the truth was the public. Meanwhile, had to wait over a year for the truth. Oh, yeah. I will continue on here. Not to mention, multiple offenders witnessed their colleagues shoot a 17-year-old in the back while he was walking away and continuing to pump him full of lead after had collapsed to the pavement, convulsing as the bullets tore into his body. Nevertheless, the Union wasted no time cranking up his PR machine in protection of the shooter. And because the police union is such a powerful force in city politics, the murderer was allowed to sit at a paid desk job for a year, with politicians unwilling or unable to fire him, let alone bring him up on charges. Mr. Van Dyke was finally charged with murder on November 24th, 2015, over a year after the shooting. It is a stunning example of the danger of the public employees unions. We see it as we see it as well in teachers unions, which bind schools with so many rules and red tape that educators are often unable by law to fire even the most incompetent or dangerous teachers. Even Franklin Roosevelt, big labor's patron saint, warned about allowing government workers to unionize, famously writing, "All government employees should realize that the process of collective bargaining, as usually understood, cannot be transplanted into the public service. It has its district and insurmountable limitations when applied to public personnel management. The power of public unions endanger not just the physical safety of individual citizens, but also the integrity of City Hall and therefore trust in government itself, a precious commodity easily squandered and hard to reclaim. Public unions are also a threat to the fiscal health of a community. When unions contribute to campaigns to help politicians get elected, the very politicians they will be sitting across from them at the bargaining table. They are, in a sense, hiring their own bosses. It therefore comes as no surprise when those politicians give the union bosses everything asked for and more. Take, for example, Mr. Emanuel's insane scheme to build a city-owned casino in the heart of Chicago. Very interesting editorial. I do admit, I am involved with the stagehand union. I un- Plus, we need balance. Represent grievances gotta be fair and honest. Oh, sorry about that. I just yawned. Wow. There's something to really think about. You gotta really look at everything in a bigger picture. And it's not really right because I know Chicago's like the big mobster town. It's been like that for a long time. The people in the Windy City need to stand up against these tyrannical buffoons, including Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Always remember, my friends, the Battle of Athens, Tennessee. I posted it in the past, but you need to take the initiative and look it up yourself. Just type in the Battle of Athens, Tennessee, when a bunch of GIs that are running for office and their supporters decide to use force as a last resort to overthrow corruption because they were the sheriff and the mayor of Athens, Tennessee at that time in 1946, August 1st and 2nd to be exact. They were tampering with ballots, but the GIs went in there as a last resort and won. It can happen in Chicago, happen in Athens, Tennessee. It can make it happen in Chicago. Last resort, Lord willing. And about the unions. The members are the boss. Unions have constitutional officers. So I'll make that clear. But I understand a lot of issues that's going on there. And it's a fascinating fact too about Franklin Roosevelt. I'm not too curious about him, but I gotta respect this quote. What he did, that quote he addressed way back when. So definitely, you gotta look at the big picture. And Rahm Emanuel, I never cared for him. He's one filthy politician accordance with the research from judicialwatch.org. All right, well, finally, speaking of politics, this is from disinformation.com by Joe Irving. And I like this little quote. Really cool. Says here, musician Frank Zappa talked a lot about politics. He spoke mostly in defense of the First Amendment's protection of the freedom of speech and expression in his autobiography, The Real Frank Zappa. Right. I said it before and I'll say it again. Politics is the entertainment branch of industry. C-SPAN's coverage of governmental proceedings is wonderful. Caution, buffoons on the hill, wallowing in blabber and spoo regiments of ex-lawyers and used car salesmen attempt to distract us from naughty little surprises served up by a deregulated corporate America. With Donald Trump hitting a high international poll this week, it's obvious he's our used car salesman distracting from the real issues. Yep, I remember the time when Frank Zappa had his debates and battles with the PMRC. It was awesome. I enjoyed every minute of it. I thought it was great. So definitely, my friends, you always gotta check it out. Good stuff. Frank Zappa was one hell of a musician. Very versatile. I can say that for a fact. Because I always enjoyed his work, his songs, and people who know Zappa. Hey, Steve Vai used to play for Frank Zappa. So he knows how to pick musicians too. So definitely, my friends, it's something we should all check on. So definitely have some fun, all right? That's why I don't get caught in the hype and the hoopla when it comes to politics. Even a person like myself who supports Ron Paul, I'm honest and fair. I don't want to manifest or jump on the bandwagon of hype. Okay, my friends, that is all. I'd like to thank everyone for listening to this episode. Plus, feel free to download and share this throughout your social media network. If you have any questions, comments, compliments, love letters, hate letters, or send me something pretty cool, don't be shy. I like good information. However, please use all those comments with decorum. You can hit me on Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. I'm on YouTube, World Truth, and Scene.life. Or you can email me at LokiLuck3, which is number 3, LokiLuck3, it's all together, at gmail.com. Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that the demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves, keep on spreading the love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.